So this is my first video that I'm doing on this YouTube channel where I'm speaking to the camera. Hello and welcome to my new vlog. Where should I look? This is my first live session that I'm doing on YouTube. Let's go to Denmark.
I can't believe social media allowed us to meet. 10 years ago, this never would have been an opportunity, right?
I'm going to build a studio here. That's what led me to selling my bed. Who are you?
I'm Svea from Germany.
This is where I sleep right now.
DJI Mavic 2 Pro.
Oh yes.
Okay, fuck. In my head, this was way easier.
For real? Hey!
Just walk.
Wait there.
Recommend for other content creators is this condenser microphone. Reach 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. If you want to grow on YouTube and have growth like this, continue to watch because in this video I'm going to share a lot of tools, resources and tips out there to help you grow on YouTube. We are live for the second time. We tried to do this live episode 2 weeks ago. Had some issues, so we're trying again now. Hopefully everything works. If you're watching this, we have 4 people watching right now. Please just let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Just so we can make sure that the audio is coming through. All right. I'm hoping that everything works fine. I want to say welcome to everyone coming in and joining this celebration of reaching 5,000 subscribers. And we, like I said, we tried to do this 2 weeks ago. We are doing a second attempt now, which was actually good because then I could adjust the intro video a little bit. I tweaked it. I added some things there to make it a bit better. So I just also want to say I have like the schedule for the live right here on a paper. So we're gonna try to have quite a quick tempo throughout because we have a lot of things to cover. And before I start, I just want to mention that if you have any questions now during the live, please let me know in the live chat. Just drop them there and we will pick them up at the end of the video. I also want to give a shout out to a person who made the illustration of me, which is in the thumbnail of this video. And maybe if you've seen my tutorials, it's also on the side of the tutorials in the little like info box. And that guy is called Eliseo Way. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's exactly how it sounds like, Eliseo Way. So you can search that on Instagram and find him. Thank you very much for creating that illustration that I'm now using weekly in my tutorials. So with that said, I'm actually going to move one of my earphones so I can hear you better, or so I can hear myself better, you know. So I'm going to give you some quick channel news because if you've been following my channel for a while, you have seen that I've been posting mostly tutorials lately. Lately, it's like the last year. And I also have a vlog called Project Vayner. And that vlog was started a couple of years back. and it's a documentation of my process towards getting a job at VaynerMedia in New York. You haven't seen an episode from that vlog in a while, and there's a reason behind that. And I can tell you here now that there is a new episode coming out for that vlog. Not gonna say what that will be about, what's happening in that episode, but it's a special episode. That's all I can say. So look out for that. And also, I'm looking into a new format for the channel, which is similar to the tutorial format. But instead of focusing on Premiere Pro tutorials and After Effects tutorials, it's going to be about YouTube growth. So I hope that's interesting for you watching this and for the people watching my tutorials. It's going to be a couple of short videos. So my idea is to create a format where I can batch produce these videos and publish one video every week. So we have one tutorial coming out and also one YouTube tips videos. Not exactly sure how this format will look like and how long these videos will be, but it will be something very specific and something that you can take action on directly. So I want it to be like short and very easy consumable, not maybe too much editing, more focused on the content value in the video. So that's some things coming up on the channel. Looking around here just to see if everything works, and Svea says in the chat that everything works fine, which is great to hear. So with that, I'm going to show you something. A physical object, actually, no graphic, no video or anything. A physical object that I got from my girlfriend when she was in Turkey. Something she brought home. And I'm going to show you that thing now because we're going to add it to this studio / office or whatever you want to call this 5 square meter room with a bookshelf. So it is a sign, like a physical sign. And if you look at the back, maybe you can guess what it says on it. Any guesses? Hint, hint. We're gonna turn it around and it looks like this. A YouTube sign. So we're gonna take that right away. Fits perfectly in this little room. I'm gonna put it up in the background. And while I do that, you can maybe figure out some questions that you have that we can pick up at the end of this live episode. So drop your questions in the chat. I'll put this in the background. All right. Beautiful, isn't it? See? Maybe I should actually move. Wait. So now you can see it. Now you're gonna be tricked when you fast forward in the episode afterwards and suddenly something appears in the background that wasn't there from the start. All right, enough of that. We are going to introduce now our secret guest. Yeah, we have a secret guest. It doesn't say in the title, it doesn't say in the description below who that is. I just told my Instagram followers that we are having a guest today. So this is a bit of a surprise. But what I can tell you now is that this guest is a good friend of mine. He's a content creator just like me. He has also reached 5,000 subscribers, which I think is perfect for this episode because we can share two different perspectives on this YouTube journey. We can both answer the questions that have been coming in to this live episode. So this person, I'm gonna bring him on. And he is located in UK. He has a orange hoodie on today. So maybe you can guess who it is. Maybe not. Let's add him to the stream. And there we have him. Ray, welcome.
How's it going, David? You good? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm even better now.
And two things straight away. First thing is 5,000 subscribers. Get in there. Woo-hoo. And love the YouTube sign.
Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend for buying that. So first question I have, do you want this view or this view?
Ooh, I prefer the second one, this one here, personally.
This one.
But
all right, then we take that one. All right. I also have a question. Was that some noise at your place?
No, I don't think so. I'm good. I can hear you.
Okay, maybe that was me. I have a question for the viewers, actually. We have a big decision to make here. I have 2 energy drinks. One blue, one red. I don't know which one to open. So you need to type blue or red in the chat. And we will celebrate the 5,000 subscriber milestone with that drink. Svea says blue. Blue it is. She was the first one, so. And also, congratulations to you, Ray, for reaching 5,000.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was something that happened way quicker than I thought it was going to. So.
Yeah, and you're like almost 400 ahead of me now, so you need to slow down a bit.
But I've learned so much from you, David. That's the problem. That's the thing.
Ash. So it's actually funny because like people who didn't know this, I'm going to show an image so it's easier to see. Let's just find that image, which is under slides. Learning this new software here. And we have an image there from my YouTube channel from 2018 when I had 139 subscribers. It looked a bit different back then. As you can see in the header, it's the thumbnails for my tutorials. It was just basic screen recording without any external microphone or any editing, basically. Just screen recorded, show one thing in Final Cut, which was the software that I used at the moment, and then just uploaded that. And those videos are still on the channel, still bringing in views years later. And we are also going to show now how my channel looks like right now. So it's a bit of a difference. I also have the dark theme on YouTube, which I really like. Looks more like Netflix kind of style. So a bunch of playlists there, as you can see, like After Effects tutorials, Premiere tutorials, Final Cut tutorials, the live episodes. But we're not gonna stay here for much longer because this you can find on YouTube. You can just click my profile image to see it.
David, did I know you in the first image? 2018. Had we connected yet on socials or whatever?
That's a good question. Because I think
you say it's 2018, did you say?
Yeah, because I think that was about the time we got in touch first time. 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that if we change to this image, there we go. There we knew each other. Ray back in the days from 2020 with 143 subscribers.
Yeah, wow.
I really liked your
a lot.
Yeah, but I liked your header image here. Like you were on brand from the start.
Yeah. Well, I've always just tried to stick to my colors. orange and blue. So yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it's still my channel's changed a lot since then. A lot.
And I'm taking a blue sip
Yeah,
to
well,
match
I've got my
your colors as
I've
well.
got
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
I didn't change my banner too long ago actually, because
Mm.
again, it's one of them things that once you've kind of put in and you move on, you kind of can forget about, but you shouldn't forget about.
Mm. And this is how your banner looks like right now.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
You've given me that Netflix
Isn't that
vibe as well, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. But I love this when I look at your thumbnails. They are like, if you have seen one of your videos, then you recognize the next video because it's so much like recognition in the style with the Instagram logo and the like orange, pink kind of gradient.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
looks really
I'm
cool.
sure we'll talk about thumbnails at some point.
Yeah, it's coming up. I can tell you that.
It
Speaking
always
of that,
does.
yeah, we are actually going to show. Oh yeah, we have a video to show. We're going to talk about how to reach 5,000 subscribers, which is probably the reason you clicked on this video. But before we do that, I'm going to go down the memory line and show a little video. So we remove this one and then, yeah.
Be nice, David. Be nice.
We'll see. But this isn't too bad actually. But it's fun to look back at. So here we go. Is it working? Hello and welcome to Project Vayner episode 30. This is my first live session that I'm doing on YouTube. Welcome to everyone that is watching right now. It's 4 people, so maybe someone is dropping in after a while. We'll see. I'm just gonna yeah, we had one challenge earlier this week because we didn't find out how to make the split screen where you can see both me and you. I had like a period with like 8 weeks where I did no vlog episodes.
I got my echoes picked up on something we said, so I need to turn her off.
Right. All right, so
I love that.
live episode.
So much has changed, but so little has changed. So first of all, obviously we had issues with the last live, and just like we did that time because we practiced that.
I think I
remember
lost
that
your
one.
audio there for a second.
You got me? You back? Am I there? Oh no! Don't say that.
No,
See?
still nothing.
Still got issues.
Maybe some connection issues. As always with live episodes.
You carry on, because I can hear you.
But that's the charm with it also. You never know what you will get. Now
can you hear me yet?
Have to comment, raise actions. Let's see if he can manage to plug in the audio equipment and make it work.
Can you hear me yet?
We are watching this in action when he's trying to connect his AirPods.
Don't say that.
To the live episode.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? No.
Feeling the stress coming over him.
What has happened?
As we wait, I'm going to bring this up again. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We are going to answer some questions at the end of this live episode. So we are collecting all of them to the end. Let's see how this goes. As we wait for Ray to connect again, we are going to jump into the next part, which is how to get 5,000 subscribers. And I think I will start this part. And
can you hear me now?
Wait for Ray to connect.
Can you hear me
now? Still can't hear anything.
Hello.
And I think you can't hear it either if you're watching.
Can you hear me?
Um,
Can you hear me now?
what if you change the mic settings to another microphone or something?
Can you hear me now?
It's possible.
I hear him.
You hear him?
I hear him.
I'm here.
Our production manager just came in.
I'm
And
here.
she hears. I don't hear though, so
Yeah, behind the scenes.
meta.
I
All
can
right,
hear you.
maybe it's like an issue on my side actually.
Oh, they can't.
Could that be?
I'm here. Hello. Don't mute me. You
I'm
muted me, didn't
plugging
you?
them out now and in again to see if that works.
Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Hello.
Live technical
I still hear you,
programs.
Ray.
So yeah, Svea hears Ray. I don't hear Ray.
That's great. That's a
I hear Ray and I hear David.
But everything has worked fine until now, which is good. But I want it to continue to work.
yeah. It wouldn't be a live episode without it.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
David
I'm gonna
can't
do a
hear me
special
right
thing
now.
Oh, wait.
Take my headphones out, plug them directly into the computer, which should work. I click the MacBook Pro.
All right, David can't hear me right now.
Now, chaos.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm still here. I've not gone anywhere.
Now I can hear you.
Yay!
All right, we are back.
Yes.
Oh, I felt the sweat.
Right.
Was going
The
down
funny thing
my
is,
forehead.
David, I was just saying that
Yeah.
I remember the first live, and I remember that we had troubles on the first live we ever did.
Yeah.
We couldn't do split screen. We couldn't find out audio. We use Google, and we don't use that anymore. Oh, so many similarities and so many differences.
Exactly. The same people, the same problems. Just slightly bigger channels. But yeah. All right. But that's good if people could hear you, at least. It was just me.
It was just me shouting at you, David, I'm here.
Yeah.
David.
I'm here. I'm here. All right. So we're going to move on. We are almost 30 minutes into the episode already. And we're going to talk about how to reach 5,000 subscribers. And this is going to be a bit spontaneous, but I've written down some points here. So I think I will start talking about them, and then whenever you feel like you want to add anything, Ray, just feel free to jump in. I think you have probably a lot of insights and opinions about these things that I will bring up. So the first thing that I will point out is actually similar to what we just talked about, which is the live episode we did where we had some issues, and it was the first live episode, but we still decided to do it. I reached out to Ray and said like, I haven't done this before. I don't know if things will go right, but we just started, and then I did live episodes every month for I think 2 years, and it got slightly better and better every month. Always some challenges with live episodes, but my point here is to just start where you are. Don't try to get everything perfect from the start, because it won't be perfect anyways, even if you try. And you learn so much more by trying and getting something out there, seeing what the result is from those videos, tweaking some things to the next video, and then just focusing on the improvement instead of trying to find some kind of perfection that doesn't really exist. Because sometimes you can use perfection as an excuse not to create also, because you put so much pressure on yourself, and you, instead of just putting it out there, you say to yourself like, yeah, but it's not perfect, so let's spend some extra time on it to make it even better. Which is good with these live episodes, because you can't do that. If you set a date and a time, you have to show up and you have to make it work. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think especially if you've got a guest, One, obviously, if you've got guests, then when you match up times, obviously showing up is important because you don't want to show up without them, and vice versa. I agree 100% what you're saying. I think you can't gain experience if you don't live through the experience first. So how do you learn if you don't experience it, whatever it is? And going wrong is the quickest way, like making mistakes or seeing things that you don't like or don't want to do anymore is the quickest way to then keep tweaking and making your work and making the videos you produce for your channel or, your live episodes or whatever better and better. So definitely echo exactly what you said, which is, dive in, get things wrong, learn quickly, and then you'll get better quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a really good point with knowing about the mistakes by doing them. Because if you don't know how a mistake looks like, or if you don't know how a bad color graded video looks like, then you don't know what a good color graded video looks like either. So you need to see like, okay, if I go down this route, if I do it this way, then I know this doesn't work. So just like a lot of times it's just eliminating the mistakes in order to achieve some kind of good result.
There's something that I've heard many people say before, which is fail fast. So actually get your failures out the way and do it quickly. And also something that I try to go towards when it comes to this is if it's 90% done. I know that David, you might not 100% agree with this, but this is how I kind of roll. If it's 90% done, it's 90% good, then it's done. Because the amount of time it might take you to get that 10% perfection, one, it might never come because there's no such thing as perfection and everybody's got their own opinion on what's good or bad. But also the amount of time you might invest into that 10% more, it might not, especially in the early stages, be worth it at that stage. 90% is good enough. Post, get it out, learn from it and move on. When you grow your channel and you get further down the road, that attitude might change.
Absolutely. And I think in the beginning, that's when it's okay to make a lot of mistakes because not a lot of people will see them anyway. So you better make the mistakes from the start and then grow from there than the opposite. And one other thing I want to mention is a really important thing that I think people don't talk about enough on YouTube, which is the storytelling part. Because a lot of times you hear about like the production quality and the thumbnails and everything, but if you're not interested in what you're looking at, like if you don't know where this is going, you're not curious, then like what's the point of continue watching something if you have so much that you can find on YouTube, so many other videos. And I'm gonna come into this in the next point, but I also want to say that there is a course, a free course actually. I know, Ray, that you like Pixar, and this course is actually by them. So this is something that I can really recommend because this is what I've been looking through to learn more about storytelling. And why not learn from the best, the people who actually make like long form videos. They know what they're talking about, and you can really understand how you can implement certain elements from there into your video creation. And I think an important thing with storytelling is you want people to continue to watch to get an answer to something at the end. That's kind of how I see it. Like you want to get them interested from the start, but not show them everything, but show that this is what we're going to talk about. This is the direction we're going through or going towards. And this is like a problem that we're trying to solve, for example, because then people will still be curious and continue to watch to see what will the end result be. Will they solve it? What will happen? Because if there's no curiosity, then it's way less interest. What's
Yeah,
your
I think
opinion about that?
Storytelling is something that is very, very difficult. I think it's very hard
Definitely.
to do, and so probably the advice from the pair of us, having been involved in YouTube and growing our channels for a while, is the earlier you can start thinking about storytelling. If you're on video 1, video 2, and you're already thinking about storytelling and you're already trying, that's so good, because I would say that with storytelling, I consider it a lot, but I would say I'm nowhere near I need to be, and I need to be better. And it's probably the thing that I'm not getting right the most. And I've done 170 videos now, something like that. So start as early as you can thinking about that story flow, because that will just take your videos leveling up so quick, the more you take into consideration.
Yeah, and one way that you can learn it is also by watching other people's videos and take notes, not on the words that they're using, but what they are saying and why they're saying it. Like if someone says like some sentences in the beginning, like ask yourself like, okay, what is he saying? He's explaining what this video is about. He's explaining that it's like a list of things that they will go through, and or something, and just take notes of that, and then watch other videos that are like similar to your videos and take notes of those videos and try to see patterns. Like what are the things that people usually do in the beginning in order to catch people's attention, and what do they usually do at the end, and like do they have a intro, and how long is that intro, and like do they use branding, in what way do they use branding, and stuff like that. It's like there is almost like a formula on YouTube. I feel that if you can figure that formula out, it's so much easier to create content, because you can kind of put your ideas and your video creation into like different boxes, and then you can kind of build your videos from that. I hope that makes sense.
I agree. There's definitely a formula, and it's only going to come from watching and learning others, as well as doing your own learning and research. Definitely.
And we are going to move on to tip 3 and 4, because they are very connected. And that is something that you probably heard about a lot, which is the titles and the thumbnails. And we can talk about this for a long time, I think. But yeah, just to start off with, like something that I've heard that's a really good tip is when you come up with a title, there are like 3 things that you should think about when coming up with a title. And it's desire, fear, and curiosity. And try to implement 2 out of those 3 things into your title. So always curiosity, either curiosity and fear, like avoid this, or if you do this, this might happen, or like something that you get curious about, but you don't want to end up in that situation. Like this guy, he spent 10,000 on this thing, and this is what happened, or something. Or like the opposite, you use desire and curiosity. So, like this is how you get a 6-pack in 7 days, or something. Or like this is how I made $1,000 in 2 weeks. Like something that is very specific and that tells you about a method or a formula or a system or something without saying what it is. And I think that's the most important thing in a title, to not say what the result is, but like what the problem is, and how you like yeah,
I think making people curious.
Specific. Yeah,
making people curious, that they want to dive in. So again, having 2 of those 3, like you said, and obviously curiosity being one of them, but having 2 of those 3 is appealing to the emotion behind the human. So like that's what makes you want to click through, because you're like, well, how? That's the curiosity. Okay, like show me, actually, let me get, the desire is the want. I need to find out, because if I don't, I won't be able to, you know, move on in Premiere Pro or whatever that might be. So I think that's a great way of thinking about that triangle of those three elements. And again, one of those things that's going to take practice. It's not something you're going to necessarily get right straight away, but by watching, being aware of that principle of the three words, and trying to apply it. What if you try 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, then you might get there, but it's not necessarily going to work the first time you do it.
Yeah, and I think also that there are like two different ways that you can look at titles, because there's a lot of talk about the YouTube algorithm and how to get seen, how to get more reach with your videos. And I feel like that's one part of it. But then also, like you mentioned, it's like the human part of it. Like if you get a lot of reach, maybe you have done your keyword research, you have found a topic where it's a high search volume, but the competition is low, which is a good indication that this video might get a lot of views. But also, if you look at the human part of things, if you formulate the title in a way that you would be interested in it yourself and you would click it and you would be curious, that can help you also get recommended. Because even if you can't see it in data that like this title will perform, if you get something that you feel like, yeah, but this is something as a human I will react to, I would be interested in, then you can get those videos recommended, which is they can like show up in the homepage, or they can show up next to another person's video. So after they watch that video, they see your video on the side. So I think don't like stare too much at the algorithm, and don't think too much as a computer. Like there is like a human aspect there to it as well.
A complete confession here when it comes to titles is that I personally believe that I'm not good at titles. I would say, hands up, I think I'm rubbish at them. But there's a reason, and this is where you kind of get kind of stuck, and I think people need to play around with, is that I don't like the thought of the clickbait. So like trying to clickbait people into watch my channel. I want them to watch it because they want to watch the video. But there is a balance between getting the title right that is intriguing enough to get people to do it. It's luring them in. So yes, there are some people that really do the clickbait thing, and they shouldn't. But actually, the people that are getting it really, really right are the people that are sit in between telling the truth and a clickbait. They're right in that special place, and they're the people that get it right. And that's why it's not easy to get all your titles right. It's an art, and it takes time to practice.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what we're all striving for, to get that like middle part where it's like, sure, you can be even more clickbaity with your titles, but if you get a higher click-through rate but people drop off, then it's also indicating towards YouTube that it's not really showing what it promised in the title, and the content isn't that good. So you just have a good click-through rate, but you have a bad audience retention. So it has to
YouTube's clever. They'll figure you out, and you won't be able to beat it. You'll be the data will show, like exactly like you said. They click through, but you lied to them, so they jumped off, and it will reveal that. So,
and this is where also the storytelling part comes in, because if you get people interested and then get them to click, and then tell them in the beginning like, this is what we're going to talk about, and we're going to show you the result of it, so you get people to actually stay and watch through it, then the total watch time for that viewer is going to be longer, and you won't have that big of a drop off from the start, because the start is, I would say, the most important part of the video. Like the first 10 to 30 seconds, like that's like statistically, if you look at all your videos, that's when you're dropping most of your viewers. If they get past that, the 30-second mark, there's a quite good chance that they will actually continue to watch a big part of your video. And then the second big drop off is just at the end, as soon as you start ending the video and saying like, thanks for watching, and like you can watch this video next, or like feel free to subscribe, or like any indication that the video is ending. That's usually when the next drop starts. And between there, it's about that storytelling part. I also, before I jump to the last part, just some like quick things about the thumbnails, because we talked a lot about titles now. In the thumbnail, I heard something good, that you should spend the double amount of time on them and make them half as complicated, because like it is called thumbnail because it's the same size as your thumbnail if you watch them on your phone or if you're scrolling through a feed on YouTube. So you need to think about that. Like, if I just quickly look at your thumbnail, can I see what it's written there? Like, is it a big contrast on the text and the background? Is the font size big enough so you can actually read it? I recommend like 6 to 8 words, something like that, because then you can scale it up enough in order for the viewer to actually see what it's written there. I usually try to use a lot of like faces or emotions. That usually connects better than just having text. Also, one thing that I see a lot of people do is that they have either a frame from the video, or they take a screenshot from the video and put some graphic on top. And I would really challenge people to not do that, but actually take like a blank color in the background, or like a different image or something, because then it's kind of covering the content in the video, which again helps that curiosity part, where people wonder like, okay, what's the production value of this video? I don't know, because the thumbnail looks really good, but I have no idea how the actual video looks like. So if you can have a professional looking thumbnail, then the click-through rate will most likely increase quite a lot, because you can think about it like a like birthday gift. If you get something that is like wrapped in nice paper, then you're probably more curious and like excited about it than if you just get the thing without the wrapping. And that's kind of how I see it with the thumbnail. Like, use your thumbnail to create that like wrapping around your package, which is your content.
Yeah, I think there's some great tips in that, and I would go a little bit further in some of the tips that I have. One of them is kind of like a new thing that I'm trying, that I've seen people do, like larger YouTubers. So it's an observation that I'm going to try and apply. But the first thing is I now think about my thumbnail before I shoot my video. So before I've even shot my video, what does the thumbnail look like? Second thing is one of the things, I spend anywhere between 2 and 3 hours on my thumbnail now. And since I've been doing that, I said to you, I'm not very good at titles, which I'm not. But since I've spent more time on my thumbnails, I have seen better click-through rates and better results on my videos. So 100%, it spend more time on your thumbnails. This is the kind of bit that's newer, and I'm really trying to do, which is have the least amount of words on your video thumbnail as possible. The least amount. So try not to explain in the thumbnail. Again, like you said, it's the size of a thumb. If you have like more than 6 words, really, it becomes difficult to read, because obviously if you think about that size on lots of different areas of the platform. So yes, on the main page, it might come up bigger, but when it's in, the sides, down the sides, or it's showing up in different places on, on other platforms, you need to make sure it's kind of working for that. And also, don't write the same thing that's in your thumbnail that's in your title. You've got words to play with there, so be clever. They should complement each other. So one should, do one thing and the other should add to it. They shouldn't be identical. it's difficult to do because you want to give them information because you're like, I mean, one of the people that I've learned this from is Mr. Beast. He now does like really plain photos, so whatever the image is for his thumbnails, and writes no words sometimes, and if not like 2 words or one word that sums up the video, and then uses the title, you know, in a better way. So yeah, they're my quick fire things to really think about when you're going to do your thumbnails. Really do spend some time on it. And like I said, not just a screenshot. And to admit, I used to do that. I was one of them people that used to do screenshots, and I don't anymore.
Me too. But I also want to add, like, on top of that, like, it can be different also depending on the niche and like what type of video you're doing. Like you said, Mr. Beast, he doesn't use so many words. I think Peter McKinnon, he rarely uses words in his thumbnails as well. And I mean, it's going decent for him, I would say. And
yeah.
that little channel, you know. Yeah, but my point is, like, look at other channels that are in your niche, and like there are so many different ways to go, and it all depends on the audience also. What are they most likely to click on? Because like at the end, you are creating content for them, and you want them to feel like this is interesting for me, and this is something that I can connect to, and this is something that will help me or entertain me or inspire me in any way.
It comes down to trial and error again, failing. You're not going to get the thumbnail
Exactly.
right straight away. You gotta do different versions and try and test different things and see what works for you, your channel, and your audience, because no 2 channels are the same, and no audience for those 2 channels are the same either.
And there is a way where you can actually also A/B test thumbnails on YouTube, which we are going to talk about later in this episode. So a little cliffhanger for that. But the last thing about how to grow your YouTube channel to 5,000 subscribers, focus on creating a good hook. And this, I think, out of these 5, I think the hook is the hardest part for me personally. And what I mean with that is, like, it's the first, I don't know if it's like 6 to 8 seconds of the video, something like that. And you need to, in those seconds, show the viewer that I'm not lying in my thumbnail and in my title. Like, this is what the video is going to be about. So you're kind of confirming that from the start. Also show that it's a, like, if you can show that it's a decent production quality, that of course also helps. If the video's quality is good, if you have good audio, also show engagement. So show some kind of, or create some kind of curiosity in those first couple of seconds, just like you do with the title. Because like we talked about before, you have such a big drop off of your viewers just from the start, the first couple of seconds. So it's super important to focus on that to get more people to watch, because at the end, YouTube cares about the watch time. And if you lose a lot of people from the start, you just get a couple of seconds watch time from those people. If you can get those people hooked and get them to continue to watch, and the video is 8 minutes long, then maybe you can get 10 more people to watch, and then 3 of them drop off during the video, but the other 7, they watch through the whole 8 minutes. Then you increased your watch time by 8 minutes times 7 people. So just some small tweaks that you can do there from the start can have such a big impact on the, like, total watch time on the channel.
I think hook is so important. Again, it comes down to you mentioned so many factors there, and that's the thing that makes the hook so tricky. You know, you mentioned the word, like the words and the scripting. You mentioned, you know, the production value. You mentioned the look and feel. You mentioned so many things, and that's what makes it tricky. My tip to you is think of the first 15 to 20 seconds like an Instagram reel, like a YouTube short, or like a TikTok. Treat those first 30 seconds like that. It's got to be pacey. You've got to have some energy. You've got to use your words sparingly. So you got to get the right words out that you want people to know and create curiosity in those first 15, 20, 30 seconds. You've got to be, cuts, edits, transitions, sound, music, all these things come into play. So if you treat the beginning of your YouTube video like you were making a video for TikTok shorts or reels, that will set you up well. I'm not saying you'll get it, but I'm saying it will help.
It's interesting that you're saying that, because I've literally followed that by the word, that tip, because one client that I'm working with, I do vlog episodes for them, and then I create a little teaser or a little trailer for those vlog episodes, which is a 1-minute video with some short clips, quite high tempo, to get people interested and watch the video. 1 year back, I think, or something like that, I've started to include those trailers in the actual vlog episodes. So I put the trailer in the beginning, and then you have the intro, and then the actual vlog episode starts. And the view time and the audience retention is so much better now, because it's such a high tempo from the start. It's jumping between clips. It's so many things happening. So people stop just to watch a couple of more seconds to see what's coming after this, what's coming after this. And I always try to also include some kind of reaction from the start, like someone getting surprised or excited or scared or something like that, because that also helps get people curious about what's to come. And then sometimes I also, when people tell you something, just when they are about to say the last word or the answer, then I cut there and then I jump to the next clip, because then I show that this is what they are talking about, but I'm not showing the complete answer. So they still continue to watch through the video to see that later on in the video. So definitely really good tip to think about it like a short form video.
Love it.
And I think the time is flying by fast. So I think we're going to jump into the resources and recommendations part. I've chosen to call this. I have a little agenda here in front of me. So there are here also in this part 5 things that I want to mention. I think most of them you have probably heard of, Ray. The first thing is an browser extension that I mentioned before called TubeBuddy. And I've talked about this before. I think a lot of people know about them. When I started working with them, I think it wasn't so common. Probably if you've been on YouTube for a while, you probably know that. But I think now they are growing so fast. And they, just to shortly describe what it is, it's it's a tool that you can use to optimize your YouTube channel and get more reach. And it's a monthly fee that you pay. There is a free version also that you can try out that I had for a long time, which is also very helpful. But if you upgrade to one of the paid versions, you have, for example, the A/B testing that I mentioned before. It's automatic, where you can do 2 different thumbnails and then automatically shift between them every 24 hour, I think it is. And then there are settings you can choose there. So whenever one is performing way better than the other, then it automatically picks the better performing thumbnail and put that as your thumbnail. So if you always do this, if you try to create as good of a thumbnail as possible, and then you do a version of that and put that as your alternate version, then you can A/B test them towards each other, and over time you will see patterns and see things that works that you can implement in future thumbnails. And then you have also I think it's called Tag Explorer, where you can see how you are ranking on different tags for your videos. So you increase your chance of getting good reach on YouTube. You have some other things as well. You can bulk edit your videos, which is super helpful if you have, like me, 250 videos now on the channel and you want to change something in the video description instead of going through all 250 videos. If I want to add an affiliate link, for example, I can just select, like, in every description where this line is, replace that with this other line instead. And then you click OK, and then it goes through all your videos and do that.
Yeah,
so those
shout
are
out
just...
David, who brought me in with TubeBuddy. I used the free one before as well, and then I got the paid one as well. And I would say there's lots of functionality. I would say something for me personally with TubeBuddy that pretty much pays for itself is the bit that helps you work on your title and where that will sit with your audience. So you can basically look at testing titles, and then with the title it gives you a score back, and with the score you can work out how well you're doing your titles. I already admitted not very good at titles, so TubeBuddy really helps with that.
It's a great tool.
Are we meant to say no sponsorship?
I was just about to say that, actually. That no brand has sponsored this video, unfortunately, but we have some, like, affiliate links, or I have some affiliate links in the video description below to some of these resources that I'm mentioning. But one thing that I just want to point that out also, one thing that you will notice when you grow your channel and you research, like, affiliate programs, there are so many different programs, so many different ways to make money or do brand deals, and you learn that you don't have to promote anything that you don't like, because it's such a variety. So you can just pick the things that you like, sign up for their affiliate programs, and then you can promote that, because then it comes more natural. Then it's something that you really believe in yourself, which is the way you should do it, I think. And that's why I've also only written down the things that I'm actually using myself and that I've gained a lot of value from.
We could do a whole nother video on just that topic, I think, about, almost not selling out, sticking to what you believe, and, things that you use, and that's the right way.
Yeah.
I think definitely in the long term anyway. Yeah, you might feel good in the short term, but it's all about the long term.
Yeah. Because you want to build that trust as well. You don't want to be the guy who's, like, salesy and just promoting all kinds of things that you don't believe in yourself, because then you lose that trust with your audience. So another thing that is super helpful is to have some kind of music library. And in my case, I use a site called Artlist. I have a link to that as well below. And I know there are different sites, a lot of different sites that you can use. I've tried some different ones. A little fun fact from the start, I went to SoundCloud. I was searching for songs. Some of them you could download, some you couldn't. And I spent so much time trying to figure out what music I could use in my videos, because they have to be copyright free, so you don't get a strike on your video, which is super important. So if you didn't know that, you can't just use any song that you hear on the radio. It has to be copyright-free music, which is something that Artlist, for example, provides. What I like with Artlist is that, because this is what I've been using for the last couple of years, they have a very nice interface, which makes it easy to find what you're searching for. You can search different moods, different genres. I never know how to pronounce that word.
Yeah.
Genres.
Yeah.
And you can also see, you can sort the result based on the length of the video, or if it's instrumental or not instrumental. And the monthly price is also a good monthly price for what you get. I think there are probably some sites that are cheaper, but there are also sites that are way more expensive, I know.
I think lots of people always ask about music, because depending on what channels you're watching, sometimes people are using, like, popular music that you might have heard of, but it's don't get kind of fooled by that, because again, like David said, you do get strikes and you might not be able to monetize those videos when you get to, you know, the 1,000, 4,000 hours watch time kind of mark. So it's better to have built in that process of non-copyright music from the start, so that when you get there, you're not kind of disappointed.
Yeah, good point. And I think just a tip, if you decide to go with artist or something else, what you need to think about is how easy is it to find music on the platform? How little friction will I have when searching for music? How big is the library on that site? Because at the end, what I would really recommend everyone, if you're signing up for softwares or buying gear, think about, is this saving you time, or is this putting even more tasks on your calendar? Because that's the thing with gear, and we can probably talk a lot about that as well. Like, are you buying a lot of like gimbals and drones and GoPros and stuff that are just on the shelf and then you need to learn about them and try them out? Or are you focusing on putting your money in things that will save you time and make things easier? Because at the end, video editing takes a lot of time, and you want the process to be as efficient as possible, so you can focus on the creative part, which is probably why you started.
And if you think about the tips that we've already given, none of them are equipment based, I don't think. They're all focus on story, focus on the words for your titles, focus on design for your thumbnails. We haven't said, you know, cameras and, you know, all this other stuff, all this other gear and tech, because actually up to a certain point, it's really not needed. And you can do so much with those things that we've mentioned already: thumbnails, titles, story, you know, design, all that kind of stuff.
I think the only thing I would mention, equipment-wise, is to make sure that you have at least decent audio, because like
mics, that's
both
it.
are good
It's the only
microphones.
thing I ever recommend. Get a good mic early. That's it.
Because just an example, I don't think people put this live on mute just to watch us. I don't think we're that beautiful, but I think that people might walk away from the screen and still listen to us. And if you watch a video, I think you get more disturbed if you have bad audio than if you have bad video. So if you should invest in something, definitely invest in audio.
Yeah, YouTube podcasting is a massive category. You know, people, you put some headphones in, you walk away, you can still hear all the audio, but not many people are watching YouTube with the sound off.
Definitely. And speaking about sound, that's actually a good segue to the next tip.
It's like I knew what was happening.
Which is Soundly, which is something that you maybe haven't heard of. I don't think it's that big, but it's another library for sound effects. And what I really like about this is it's a program you download and install, and then you go in there and you search for your sound effects that you want to your project. Then you select the sound effect, and not like the file or the name, like select the part of the sound effect that you want. Then click and drag it over to your editing software, and it will automatically save that part as a separate file in your project folder, and it will put it in your editing software. Isn't that great?
Love that. Love that.
And this is not even an affiliate link. This is just something that I love.
What?
So
why are they not sponsoring you yet, David? Come on.
I don't know. But this is something that I really recommend. And there is a free version that's a bit limited. I have that. So I use that for some like swoosh sounds, just to get some basic things to the videos. But just the fact that you can drag it from one program into another program, it's so convenient. And again, like, that's one of those things that you get or maybe pay for if you want the paid version, and then you will save time every time you're editing because it's so easy to use.
I've just been checking it out. It looks decent.
Yeah. definitely recommend it. Number 4 is a site that is called AE Juice. And I was a bit confused when I first heard of this because I thought like AE Juice, what's that? What does AE stands for? Because it doesn't sound like anything connected to video, but from what I understand, AE stands for After Effects, I think at least, and because it's After Effects plugins and Premiere Pro plugins, and I think you can use it in other softwares as well. And they have a big variety of plugins and effects and templates, and they have even a free package that you can download. So if you don't want to buy anything, you can still go to their site and download the free package. That's something that I've done. I have free sound effects actually from AEGuice. And I think I have a link to that also in the video description. Yeah, the free plugins for Premiere Pro and After Effects. So there's a list with 5 links there. So yeah, that's also something that, again, something that will help you save time in the editing process and create a better product. And then we have the last one, which is actually a course. And this is a course that I have taken myself, and I think that you have heard about it, Ray. It's called the Video Ranking Academy. And that course is created by a guy named Sean Cannell. And if you haven't heard about him, then definitely write that name down and Google that after the live episode, because he has done so many videos and he has so much knowledge about this platform, has helped so many people. And in the course, which is a bit pricey, I must say, especially if you're just starting out on YouTube, it can feel like a lot of money. It's something, just to put things into perspective, the price that I paid for the course, I got back through Google AdSense in my first 3 months after monetizing my channel. So if you have a long-term goal with your channel that you want to monetize it and make money from YouTube, then it's definitely worth looking into, because there are so many like specific tips there, like the hook that we talked about. He's really breaking that down into like, okay, here are some like example videos, and this is how I start those videos, this is why I say this sentence, and then why I say that sentence. And he said that like sometimes he re-record his hooks like 5 to 10 times or something, just to like increase the audience retention, because it's so important. And there is even a course like about how to create your own podcast and the equipment you need for that. And like you talked about before, you can have like a podcast channel on YouTube, basically doing what we are doing now, like doing a live podcast, or not live if you don't want that. But yeah, it's like it's packed with courses in there.
I haven't been on his course, but I've watched loads of his videos, loads and loads and loads. So definitely really helpful. I know you said like it can be pricey, but depending what your attitude is with YouTube, if you're thinking, get rich quick, yeah, good luck with that. But what I would say is don't forget that you're investing in yourself, and that's really important to do as a creator, full stop. Take YouTube out of the equation. Learning and developing whatever it is that you do and love to do, learning from other people and trying to level up and make yourself better is something that you should try and do. And investing in yourself with courses and books and learning and time and all that kind of thing is really, really valuable. So really consider it if it's something you're going to take seriously.
Yeah, and I think also I hear that word being thrown around a lot, like investing in something, and it's not always people who know what that means, but like the way I see it is like, is this something that you pay for that will actually generate money for you, or is this something that you invest in that will increase in in value over time, which this is. So I think that's a really good tip in general for everything that you're purchasing. Like, will this help me? Will this make me generate more money? Or is this only like a consume thing that is like, I enjoy it for some time, but it's not a tool that will help me reach something.
If you think about many things that you buy in life that is materialistic, so if you think about, you know, camera equipment, cars, you know, whatever it is you do, they actually go down in their value over time because they become older, they become wear and tear, and there's newer models. With something that you learn and a skill that you put into your brain, it only grows and gets bigger because then you apply more and more of it to other things, whether that's YouTube or life. So I think that's the key with investing. If you're going to invest in something in yourself, you're actually looking for the long-term growth over time. If you invest in something materialistic, it's technically going down in value the more and more you use it, or as time goes on.
Yeah, and I love to invest in knowledge because that's also something that no one can steal from you. And it's nothing that an algorithm can change. Like, you still have that knowledge. Like, you can still bring that on to other platforms or other projects, and you can have bigger understanding how things works. So yeah. And I think that was the resources part. So we are already over 1 hour, so we're going to speed up this process. We're going to jump into the channel review. And we actually have 2 channels here to review today. And this is going to be interesting because now we are moving into a technical part that I will try to figure out as we go here. And
this is going to be interesting because David didn't, although he has an agenda because he's very prepared, he also didn't tell me the agenda. So I don't know who we're reviewing. I didn't know about the resources, but it's all good fun. We've chatted loads. So, I mean, lots of the stuff that he says, not only do I echo, but I've actually, you know, learned from David. I mean, I know that we said that I haven't been on the course, like Sean's course or whatever, but we've talked a lot over the years, and there's so many things that I picked up from David. So, you know, he's doing this live, but shout out to him, because if you watch some of his videos and pick up some of the tips, you're already on your road to that 5,000 anyway. So
yeah, thanks, man. I think we have learned a lot from each other, both of us, and
that's another thing. It's good. It's surrounding yourself with other people that are involved, right?
Exactly what I was about to say. So yeah, find people with similar interests that you can learn from, that have maybe also different perspectives and like different opinions than what you have about your content, which is super valuable. Also, another tip
with the tech.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to share my screen here, but I just want to drop another tip before I do that, and that is to find a girlfriend who is a photographer, because then you always get great thumbnails.
What a tip that is!
If you can do that, that's a great tip.
Maybe you and your girlfriend should start a dating service of YouTubers meet photographers. There you go. It's very niche, but you know, go for
it. That's not a bad idea, actually. Could be boyfriends also, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
So we are moving into the screen sharing part, and funny that we talk about my girlfriend, because she's actually the first channel that we're reviewing. So let's see if I manage.
That's cheating though. That's cheating though, surely.
Yeah.
Because she already has all the advice from David. Surely. look at that. My channel never looked like that at the beginning.
So this is her channel, and as I mentioned, she's a photographer. And I was actually looking into this a little bit before this live, and I think it's really good because you see, she just like started publishing videos on YouTube last year, I think it was. These are all the videos. Okay, this one is actually 2 years old. Never mind. But she has 13 videos. They are all vlog episodes, or like similar type of format. and they are about similar things. It's like the common theme, I would say, is Sweden and nature, outdoorsy activities. And that's also something that helps if you're trying to grow a channel. If someone discovers one of your videos and you can show that you have similar videos around the same topic, then they are more likely to also discover that. But not every person knows from the start what to create videos about. So then you, of course, have to experiment to find that out. But yeah, like I said, she's a photographer. So I think it's really good to what she's doing. Like, she has a professional looking photo as her profile photo. She has a header image here without any text on it, which I think is great, because in this situation it kind of also symbolize what her videos is about. Like, it's not a lot of graphics, it's not a lot of quick cuts or animations or stuff. It's like focusing on the actual video content and the locations that she's going to. And it's kind of what this image is symbolizing for me. I feel it's like one girl and a big forest, and it's like exploring the world kind of. And I think that's probably her idea behind it also. So like we talked about before with like thumbnails and using words or not, like you need to think about what you want your channel to symbolize and what kind of signals you want to send out, because that of course should match to the type of content that you're creating.
I think
So I think
the photography really comes through in the thumbnails. So I wish my thumbnails looked like that at the beginning. They definitely did not. So they're really they're really great quality. You already kind of mastered the look and feel, I think, already when it comes to your thumbnails. Not a lot of words in them, some great images of the outdoorsy stuff. So yeah, the photography is really coming through, which is great. I think it's only a matter of time. I think it's just about patience in terms of the amount of time you and the amount of videos that you publish, because again, the click through I think won't be a problem. You obviously tweaking titles and stuff is going to be something that you are going to have to play around with over time. But obviously I don't know a lot about Sweden and necessarily the Swedish culture, but linking some of the videos to Swedish culture in terms of timing when certain things happen at certain times will be, I think, the next thing. So if something has happened big in Sweden or in a particular area at a certain time in the year, and you can be a part of that, I think that's when you'll see the next big spike for one of your videos, because you'll be ahead of what your audience are going to want, if that kind of makes sense.
definitely. And I actually have some insights about that, because I know that this video, the fourth one here, it's called Christmas in a Lonely Cabin, Swedish Lapland, and that was published right after Christmas. So again, like, timing plays a big part in your reach when you're publishing. And you can also think about it like, if you publish something like a Christmas type of video around Christmas, you can push that again next year, next Christmas. And she has like fall market at Royal Castle also published during the fall. So like, of course the search will always go up around those events.
Christmas is going to come back round again, so it'll be interesting to see what the views are at about like November time, and then how they potentially grow. Christmas 2022, evergreen. And then every year around Christmas. It just I understand that, unfortunately, obviously the video was published after on this occasion, but that's the great thing about certain types of videos, that the cycle could come back round.
Yeah, And also another thing that I want to mention, because we talked about the like importance of titles and thumbnails. I think this third one is a great example because it says Sweden's best loppis, but then there's a question mark. So she's not telling like this is the loppis who like won some prize or something. It's like a question to you: is this the Sweden's best loppis? She's also standing outside of it, so you don't really see what's inside. When you hover over it with the mouse cursor, you see some short clips from the inside. But like again, this is creating that curiosity that helps increase the chance of people actually clicking it because they want to figure out like, is this the best loppis?
I'm going to be really, really picky here. So sorry, Svea. And I'm by means no expert, but just going back on a few points that we made. So this one actually works really well. The same one. Personally, you could probably drop "might this be" and just have Sweden's best lupus is how you say it. Lupus. Just have
Loppis.
Sweden's best lupus ? You don't need the "might this be" because then people are not going to search "might this be." They're going to just search best lupus. Yeah, is that how you say it? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So you could get rid of some of those words. And the other thing is you don't need the Swedish flag and Sweden's on the thumbnail. You can just have either just Sweden's or get rid of that word and just have the flag on it.
Yeah,
so
like
again, this being really picky, I know, but it comes back to some examples we were talking about before, and these are things that you can play around with, so you could refresh that in time for Christmas coming.
Yeah, and this is also something that you can again A/B test. Like try one with the Swedish flag, try one without the Swedish flag, see if it gets more or less clicks. And what you said about removing the "might this," that's also just like kind of increasing the clickbaitiness, if that's a word, but I think you know what I mean. Because then it's like even more convincing. Like,
the question mark does that. Sweden's best. Say it again. Lopis. Is that right?
Lopis.
Sweden's best Lopis. That's it. That's what you need. Question mark. That says it, because then I'm like, the question mark is the doubt. Is it? That's it. So yeah. But yeah, they're already great. And like I said, my channel did not look like this when it started out. So yeah, you're onto some great stuff, and keep going.
Yeah. And I think we are gonna move on to the next one, so it's not too long.
Careful,
see, I was saying oi in the chat.
Careful, David. It might not be long before Sphere catches us.
Yeah. She's been growing really fast lately, actually. She was like just passing 100 and now 173. So really cool to see. So I'm gonna stop that sharing.
Then hopefully she'll come back and give us some tips though when she flies past us.
Yeah, exactly. That would be appreciated.
She'll be like tips. She'll be like tips for hitting 10,000, and we'll be like, tell us, we're not there yet.
Yeah. All right, we are moving on to the next one, which is Daniel's channel, The Running Dad. First, a shout out to him because he's a Patreon supporter, and he's been for a while. So thank you very much, Daniel, for supporting this channel. And yeah, the first thing I want to say, actually, because I was trying to find this channel, I searched for his name because like I know him, I know what his full name is, so I searched for that first and last name, and then I searched for The Running Dad, and none of those showed this channel. So that could be one thing right away to improve, to go into the description of the video, the tags under the videos, like add your name, or if you have like a nickname or a channel name, like add that in a couple of places, so when people search for it, they will actually find you. And I think this is good to implement from the start before the channel is too big, because in the beginning, I mean, you want to be discovered by search, but after you grow your channel more and more, people will remember your name, and instead of going to your channel manually, they will just search for your name to find your channel. So to get those like recurring views, that's one thing to look into, like the SEO part of things, like how many places on your channel can you add your name or what your channel is about, so that when people search, they can also find you. And then a second thing that I see right away is there is no header image, which is something that I would really recommend, because there you have like free space at the top to make people more interested, to show what the channel is about. Yeah, just have some kind of image there that will increase the chance of people staying on the channel and watching more videos.
I think there's the second one on your screen. Yeah, I went to all videos. So the second one, I think, again, proves a great point that you were saying earlier, David, which is
this one.
the face he is pulling is intriguing.
Yeah,
why is he pulling that face?
exactly.
And we want to find out why. And because we want to find out why, I think it's the #1 video on his channel, pretty much. Well, going back for months and months,
yeah.
of recent times. So it just proves that if you have that curiosity, that I want to be intrigued. What's going on? Why is he pulling that face? What's happened? What's wrong? People actually click through. There's proof is right there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I was thinking about that also, that like this is something that caught my attention right from the start. And if you also look at the video with the least amount of views, which I think is this one, it doesn't have any expression or any face in it, but all the other videos has that. So that's also an example of like connecting to your audience and showing who's this person behind this video, what is this video about.
There's also something that David is a massive advocate of, and it's him all over. And I'm going to say this, but I'm guilty of it too, is that the consistency of posting a video. Now, obviously, I know everybody has a life, families, work, all those kind of things. So fitting things around then, I completely understand. And I'm part of that, of those people that doesn't get a video out as often as I would like to, unlike David, who absolutely smashes it. But one thing that would definitely do, uplift the channel is if you just got a few more out within a month, within a month, or with every couple of months. So consistency. If you can try to produce a few more, I think that would really help the channel grow quicker. Definitely.
Yeah, and now when you have the opportunity to upload YouTube Shorts as well, it doesn't have to be long videos. It can be like snippets from the videos that you already have. Schedule them as YouTube Shorts, and that way increase the reach, and then hopefully you can get some people from those shorts to your longer form videos. If you like think long term with your channel, you can't at this point at least make money on the shorts. So like from that perspective, it's always good to have these longer form videos. But when you're just starting out, definitely something that can help the reach. You can see like the power on TikTok and Instagram Reels of these short form videos.
Shorts, there's a shorts fund, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how many
active?
you need to have. I don't know, but there was a potential at one stage, and it might still be going, that even if your channel hasn't qualified for monetization, if your shorts do really well, you can still earn money. I mean, normally it's like a good trending video, but still, if you manage to hit the algorithm and you do a nice video and you're posting shorts regularly, I think it's still open for now at the moment, because it's still trying to rival Reels and TikTok. So I think it is, and so you can actually earn money if you get good performing Reels before you are actually allowed to be monetized.
And I love that that can also help decrease the friction of someone starting out, because you can get like frightened about the competitiveness and the amount of videos being uploaded every day on YouTube. But and you, like we talked before about putting too much pressure on yourself, trying to perfect things. I think shorts are a great format to experiment with and try different things, because they are so short. After you publish one, you can just publish another one, try something different. It's not as risky in a way as longer form videos.
I completely use like short form video to experiment and try what my audience might like or what they could like to see, and then go from there. Because if you can, it's almost so fleeting. TikTok Reels, Shorts, they're really quick, but also they don't live kind of forever. Like trends come and go, kind of thing. So they're gone. Whereas the stuff that sits on your YouTube is a little bit more evergreen, a little bit more forever, because people can kind of search and find it at any time. And at the moment, you can't really search a particular TikTok and find it at any time. You're kind of searching hashtags and groups and categories rather than actual video.
And another thing I want to mention also with this channel is something that I didn't say about Svea's channel. If you go to home, now you only see these 6 videos. But if you go to videos, you see all the videos. And this is something that I see on a lot of channels, that you only see those 6 videos. And that's because this is like a section of the home part called uploads. So you have different sections that you can have, that you can add to this home part. So you can have playlist, uploads, which is this one. You can have, it is something more.
You can have different playlists. You can have popular uploads, so your things that people have watched the most, and you can have shorts as a whole category as well.
Yeah, true. I think shorts automatically ends up in a separate category here. So just looking into that, I think you go to like the YouTube studio and on the sidebar, if you go down to customize, I think it's called anpassning in Swedish, then you can adjust these things, and then you get a better sense of what the channel is about, and you can kind of scroll through and see a good overview of it. It's kind of like your storefront if you have a store. Like when people pass you on the street and they look in, like what do they see? And this is basically that version of that, but online. Also, thank you to Yell Crow. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Saying that your channel is very helpful. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for watching and supporting my channel. That's always appreciated. Every like, every view, every comment, every subscriber.
I definitely echo that as well. No channel will be where they are without people watching and doing those things. So you gotta always love the people when they help and support.
Yeah. And that's actually a good tip also that we can kind of end this live episode with. To when you're trying to build your channel from the start, I always like focus on trying to create these like systems and checklists and stuff to make things go more smooth, and trying to get things scalable, which is like, how can you do this over and over again without wasting a lot of time on it, without spending so much of your energy? Like, how can you make it easy for yourself? And that's something that I think is super important when you are like passing 1,000 subscribers and you're trying to grow above that, and you want to have this channel for a long time. You're thinking long term about it. You want to maybe monetize your channel, maybe become a full-time YouTuber at some point. Definitely something to focus on. But unless you have reached the 1,000 subscribers, something that I would really recommend is to do the unscalable things. Like, do the things that are not sustainable in the long run, like DMing people, joining like different groups, sharing your link to your video on like a lot of different places, like everything that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort now, and that you won't be able to continue doing forever. Don't be afraid of doing that from the start, because like it's a lot of work from the start. And like, of course, you don't want to be spammy. You want to like figure out in what places you can share your links where it's relevant for the people watching it. And that's something you need to like try, test, do research about. But
the most genuine one is leaving comments on other people's posts across platform, but genuine comments where you've actually spent a little bit of time to watch or read or see what they've actually posted about and responding to that appropriately. The psychology behind that is amazing, because you as a person who gets that comment will want to see who it is that is actually responded with such genuine kind of interest. By doing that, you'll tap on their profile, you'll see you have things in common, or that you want to connect with them, and then they'll connect with you. So leaving comments is one of those non-scalable things that David was talking about, but the psychology behind it is amazing, and definitely try and do it as much as you can. I mean, it's how it's how me and David met and have stayed friends, and helped each other with YouTube stuff the whole time. It was probably David, I'll be honest. It was probably David that commented on one of my things, because he's that guy, and he knows what he's doing way more than I do.
You're like downsizing yourself way too much. But I think it was like a comment on like a Gary Vee post or something. I think that's how we got connected.
Well, there you go. So it wasn't even one of our posts. It was something that we had both commented and we had a mutual interest. And then we both checked each other out or messaged each other. So just think about how much value that brings in terms of what David was saying about building connections over time. Because what you're not just doing, it's not just the person that you commented on their profile. It's actually people that see their profile that might then connect with you. So yeah, definitely.
And building a YouTube channel is so much about networking also. Like, it's not about only the subscribers and the views. Like, of course, that's great, but just like being genuine, and like reaching out to people and giving genuine feedback, tips, and I mean, you can get so much from it. Like, maybe that person knows someone that will like hire you in the future, or maybe that person would become your client, or maybe it's like becoming a really good friend of yours, or like anything. Like, just having like a open, positive mindset and connecting to a lot of people and trying to never stop learning about the platform or learning how other people do things. I think that's a really important really important part, or like mindset shift you need to have when you go into this whole like YouTube world. Like, never put yourself in this circle that like, okay, now I know exactly what to do, I know what road to go, I'm not going to listen to anyone. Like, of course, follow your path and where you want to go, but always be open to new knowledge, new changes, new input and feedback.
Definitely.
And I think that's it for this live. So it was a bit longer than expected, but I think we also haven't talked in a while, so there was fun to chat again and to share some tips. Hopefully that was valuable for you guys watching this. I will try to also chop this up into smaller pieces that I can use for social media. So maybe you will see some parts of this afterwards. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you, Ray, for joining and sharing your knowledge with everyone. Super appreciated.
Anytime.
And with that said, we are going to end this live episode. So
Peace out, people.
thank you and see you in the next video.